Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm revisiting my VS800, one I worked on last September. It's been in my shed since then, not being used. I come to pull it out and it doesn't want to start. I've already had a quick look at it and just bought a battery for it because the battery was totally dead. And now I'm going to find out why it won't start, because even with a jump start it wouldn't play ball. So I thought I'd bring you along for the ride and see how we get going. Right, I've fitted a new battery. That was difficult enough because it's not like a normal bike where the battery comes in from the top. It goes in underneath and it's really difficult to get at. Anyway, the battery's in. Thing I've got is I turn the ignition on, all the lights come on at the top there, I press the start button and nothing happens. So this is the same as I had before. I put this new battery in, so now I've got to try and trace the wiring back and see what's gone on. I'm not quite sure what it is, but there's something amiss somewhere in the wiring. It's quite possible it's had a little rat in there somewhere, chewed a couple of wires. It's been in the shed, so we'll have to wait and see. I'll go through and have a look, see what's going on. This is the solenoid here, so I'm going to start there and work my way back from there. And have to have a look, see what I've got in way of a wiring diagram for this, and if I can find one, then I'll have a quick look and see if I can trace the wires that come to the solenoid. Right, now I've got my test light. I'll plug it onto the positive here and test it. Let's just see if we've got, yeah, we've got light there. Sorry for the shaking about, you're attached to the bike at the moment. So that one does not go to earth, that one does. So that's our earth wire there. So in theory, if I put power to the yellow and red wire, the bike should turn over. I'll go and get a jumper wire. Got a jumper wire and crocodile clip that to the power, like that. And if I touch inside here, well, something clicking. It's not doing a lot though. Let's see. Yeah, it's clicking, but I don't think there's anything coming through that. Let's have a look. Hold the test light on there. We've got nothing coming through there. Nothing. So it looks like we've got a faulty solenoid as well. Looks like there's two different problems. And the start button's pressed, we're not even getting a click. So there's no power coming to this wire here. None whatsoever. So I can find out if the bike will turn over on this battery just by crossing these two. Yeah, the bike turns over with that, but it doesn't look like that solenoid's working, which is a real pain. We've also got to see why we don't have any power. Now I have noticed on this that when I tugged on this wire here is moving about. and that's a separate wire that goes underneath the tank and up underneath, so I think I'm going to have the tank off as well. I took the seat off so I could see what's in the wiring, but that looks like that should supply power to the solenoid. So the first thing to do is to get the solenoid working, and then once that's done we'll move on to the rest of it. Right, after playing with this for a few minutes, I give that a little clump with a back end of a hammer, and I've got this thing to actually turn over, so the solenoid is working, so there's no need to take the solenoid apart. All I've got to do now is find out why this wire is an add-on, and why there's no power coming to this wire here, because if the power comes to here it should start the motor. So as you can see, this vanishes up underneath the tank. So the next job I'm going to do is I'm going to take the tank off and have a look, see where this wire goes, because I think somebody's bypassed this in the past. It was tied to this, so when I changed the loom on this, because I stripped this to a bare frame, and when I changed the loom this was actually taped there, so I thought it was part of the loom, and I'll go through it and see what I can find. Next thing, we take off the tank. Now, the first thing I've got is there's a nut here, 10mm. I'll just whip that off. Put that to one side. That's it. It comes complete with its own little rubber washer. And here we got a small clamp which needs to go back and out of the way. Like that, because these are the breather hoses. There's two of them. I'm going to get both these off. Right, I've damaged that one because it's stuck solid. No matter, I'll just trim it slightly shorter. I'll do that now before I forget. That's it. No problem there. Now this one's coming, I think. If it's a wiggle. Yeah, that one's off. Now I just need the pipe from the tap to come off. And that's off. Tiny drop of fuel, nothing drastic. And now, hopefully, now lift the tank off. Got it. It is full of fuel as well. So, there's this wire. Yeah, I don't know if that's the same one. Looks like it vanishes into there. That's probably why I thought it was part of the loom. It goes across here. And up into the stalk there. So, a little bit of investigating to see where that goes. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off so I can identify which cable's which. whip this off. Have a quick look, see what cable's going to it. A small orange wire, looks like orange and white, and inside there, right in the back, there's a yellow and green wire which go to the start button. Looks like the yellow and green button wire, which is on the back of the button, goes straight down to that, or supposed to go straight down to that. So it's obviously been connected between here and here. So I've either got a break in the wire down here where it's been taped up down here, this bit, or I've got a fault with the switch. So to try that, the orange wire should be live. So if I put a ground on there with my test light, and we'll see if I turn the ignition on. Right, ignition's on. I should have, when I touch that orange wire, I can't even see, I should have power there if there's power to it, and there is. Test light lit up, so there's power to the switch. The other thing now would be to check if when I press the switch, the green and yellow wire is energized. Put that there. I'll just try that as well. If that's the case, then I can put this back together and look for a broken wire. Right, and try again. Now that's ignition on. When I press that, I've got a click. Obviously got a loose connection in here. So that's looking good. So the next move will be to see what I can actually do with this switch. I think what I'll do is just give it a dab of solder. I'll put it all back together, because where it's soldered on, see that little yellow wire there? I don't think that the solder joint is very good that goes to the little switch. I shall just solder that back up and we'll try it again. I shall do that off camera because it'll take me a while to set up. Okay, that's soldered up, tightened back up. Just turn the ignition on and see if we get anything. Excellent. So that's job there. Didn't really have to take the tank off by the look of it, but I wasn't sure whether it had been attacked by rodents because it's been in the shed for a long time. I might go over it first of all with a with an airline just to get rid of the dust, and we'll go from there. Right there, nozzle coming in. That's it. That's the majority of the dust off anyway. Now I can put the tank back on. and see how we go. Just putting the little bolt back in on the rubber. That's nice and tight. And put this little tube back on. That's the breather for the charcoal canister. That has to go on like that. Cool. Now the little tube for the petrol tap. Cool. That's done. I'll put the screws back in here for the seat so I didn't lose them. Now we need the seat. Mind these wires here. I don't trap them because the seat sits underneath this. Now there's the seat. It's got a little tang on the back here that sits into that little thing there, and then two lugs at the front that bolt on. So get that in like that. And there's the two screws, one each side, and that retains the seat, so stop it coming off. And that's the seat back on. Now I've got two side panels to put on and a fuse cover. I think I'll leave that off for a minute and see if I can start this up. Well, I've got fuel on and choke, ignition. Nice. So, job done. Filthy. And the dust on it is unbelievable because it's been sitting for all that time. But it is only surface dust, and it's dry dust at that, so it's not going to be rotten. So it's time to give it a wash, go around it with a bit of polish, and hopefully sell it. Got the two side panels to put on. I'll do that before I wash it so that no water gets in the electrics. Okay, now I got the fuse cover to go back on. It goes on there. Screw. Screw that up. Job done. Now the side panels, they've got little grommets in here. They've got to go over the pegs, and then there's a screw hole somewhere down here. Not quite sure where. Supposed to be there somewhere. Oh, there it is. It's in the middle there. So I'll just make sure those wires aren't in the way. See if we can get this on here. That pops onto there like that, and then the little screw is in the hole in the bottom. And tightens up. Side panel back on. Good. Jobbed. The other side panel is much the same. And then it's time for a wash. Get some of these cobwebs off the tyres and give it a thorough cleaning. And somebody might want it. It's going to go cheap. These here are worth about 4,000, and I'm going to sell this for 2.5 because I want to get rid of it quick and get on with my next project. Thank you very much for watching anyway, and if you've enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. Helps the channel grow a little. And I'll see you next time. Bye now.